Okay, everybody, so we're looking at using ratios almost like a recipe. Mixing ratios. So a really common use for ratios is when you're making up a solution of something or a mixture of something, but also just splitting one quantity into a ratio. All right, so looking at page 13. Page 13 of your workbook. So what we're doing here. First of all, it says here basic skill check. Okay, you need to be able to drive your calculator to do these things. All right, so it doesn't matter what the numbers are, this is what you've got to do. I would say 2 times that and then divide by 7. So you're multiplying the top and divide the bottom. Okay, you have to be able to do that. A lot of people look at that and not know where to start. You just multiply the top and then divide the bottom every single time. You're finding a fraction of a physical quantity. You have to be able to do that in order to do what we're about to do. All right, so mixing ratios. Let's look at this first example. Split 8,000 grams into the ratio 1:4. All right, so first of all, you look at that and you have to answer the question, how many parts is this thing being broken into? Now, the rookie mistake is to say, well, it's going 2 ways, so there's 2 parts. That's really wrong, okay? 1 part is going that way, 4 parts is going that way, so you've got 5 parts in total. All you've got to do is add it up. You've got 5 parts, okay? So this thing is being chopped up into 5 equal parts. So here's a good way to go about it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now let's assume that these are all equal, okay? Let's assume that this rectangle here represents 8,000 grams. Okay, so the whole thing is 8,000 grams. Okay, and then I've just sliced it up into 5 equal parts. So there's 1 part. Okay, and so what is that? Well, that's 1/5, isn't it? Okay, it's 1 out of 5, it's 1/5, and this here is 4/5. Okay, so if I could figure out how many grams are in that one, and then how many grams are in all of this, that's it broken up into 1:4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 parts there. Now, this little way of doing it, producing a little diagram like that, I would thoroughly recommend that you do that if you are struggling with this stuff. It doesn't work for every question. So, you know, if I had 1:55, well, that's going to be pretty annoying to draw 56 lines. But if it's something simple like this, something small numbers like this, this is a really helpful way to go. So when it comes to the exam, don't be afraid to do something like that, okay? It just helps you think through visually. All right, so what's going on here? So I have 1 part, okay? So 1 part is actually 1/5 of 8,000. So 1/5 of 8,000. Okay, multiply the top, divide the bottom. So that's 1,600. All right, so that one right there, that is 1,600 grams are in that one there. That is one part out of the 5. So then 4 parts is 4/5 of 8,000. 4 times 8,000 divided by 5, 6,400. And you should know you're right, because when you add that up, you get 8,000. Okay, that's what should be happening there. When you add it up in that direction, you should get 8,000. All right, so that's just splitting one quantity into the ratio 1:4. If it was 1:5, then I would have 6 parts here. If it was 2:9, there'd be 11 parts here. Okay, that's how it works. Well, let's actually get to a bit more practical. Okay, cement is mixed according to a ratio. Cement powder is to sand is to gravel. Let's say it's 1:2 to 3. All right, so a driveway is going to need a total of 2,400 kilograms of concrete. How much of each ingredient is needed for the job? All right, now you could go and do that. What have we got? We've got 6 in total, haven't we? 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. All right, well, let's have a go at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so there's my whole thing there. So we need 1 part is cement powder. Here we go, there's my cement powder. It's just that bit there. 2 parts are sand. So those there are sand. 3 parts are gravel. That's my gravel. Okay, that's how it works out. This whole thing is 2,400 kilograms. The final mix, when it's all mixed together, I need 2,400 kilograms. All right, so that's 1 part. That's 1 over 6. So let's get some headings there. So I'm just going to go C for cement powder, S for sand, and G for gravel. Okay. 1 part out of 6, so 1/6 of what? Of 2,400, because that's the final thing, times 2,400. Okay, before I get the calculator, I'm going to do all of this here. My sand is 2 parts out of 6. 2 over 6 times 2,400. And the gravel is 3 parts, which you can say it's going to be half of it, but anyway, let's just go through the process. Right, what have I got? 1 times 2,400 divided by 6. So it's 400 kilos of cement powder. All right, so now I'm going to go 2 times 2,400 divided by 6 is 800. 3 times 2,400 divided by 6 is 1,200. And if I add all that up, I get 2,400. Okay, that's how you do that. All right, now remember, this kind of diagram is helpful. You may not always be able to do that though. You know, for instance, if I had 2 is to 47, okay, if that's my mixing ratio, then yeah, a bit hard to do that. But the principle is the same. Or actually, if it was this one, my total would be 49. So it'd be 2 over 49 and 47 over 49. Okay, but it's a simple process. Follow the procedure. I don't care what the numbers are, just follow the procedure. Okay, and that's how you do it.